Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Costanza, a podcast about something. I am your host, Joe Costanza.
And Jake from State Farm.
This is episode 39. We're back after a couple weeks. I took a hiatus from the podcast a little bit. I forget why. Probably for health reasons, but we're back now, and we got a lot of news to talk about because it's been a hell of a few weeks. Let me tell you that. So, I'm here as usual.
That's an understatement.
I'm here as usual with Tasha and Stefan.
Hi guys.
And Jay Gooden's on his way. And Venomizer's taking some time off for his health. So, yeah. But we also got a special guest here. And it's somebody that I've been wanting on for the podcast for a little bit now, and considering that he's watched two shows that I've watched, we got D4, the forever player 4 of the Golden Pipe Gang, and a good friend of mine. So yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yay! Applause! Applause!
Hello guys, I'm D4. I'm a small content creator, mainly Nintendo stuff,
Jake.
but I get around sometimes. I'm super excited to be here for the podcast and talk about some really great shows that I've watched recently, and yeah, I'm just glad to be here.
Awesome. Also, no face cam today because I look like actual shit. Like, not metaphorical shit. Actual shit. But anyways, hello, like fan.
Sure.
Yes, I do. But, so, anyways, we're going to be talking about, before we get to the shows, we're going to be talking about some news that I've heard recently. The Oscars were fucking boring as hell this year. So,
Yeah,
it's not about the Oscars
terrible.
themselves, but there is a bit of a controversy because, let me just give a little bit of a backstory. So, the end of February was kind of a wild month because we lost legendary actor Gene Hackman, and we also lost famous Buffy actress / Gossip Girl actress Michelle Trachtenberg, who died sadly at 39, and Gene Hackman was 95. So yeah, there's a bit of controversy in the Oscars because Morgan Freeman, who was, I think, a friend / like cast member on a movie that Gene Hackman was in, he did like an in memoriam tribute to the people who died in the past year, and Michelle and a couple other actors were not mentioned in there. So,
Ooh.
and just for context, Gene Hackman died like in the middle of February, but they didn't find his body until the 26th, which is the same day that Michelle died. So there's really no excuse for them to not include Michelle, but include Gene Hackman and all these other guys. And Tony Todd wasn't included as well, who was the Candyman and also the voice of Venom from Spider-Man 2, the game. So that's kind of like extremely controversial. Fans have been especially of Michelle, have been backlashing about this. Like, why didn't you include her in the Oscars and stuff like that? First of all, I agree, because what the fuck? She died tragically at 39, and you're just gonna rub her off like that? Really? It's just so stupid.
That's pretty shit. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah.
Jake, what were you gonna say?
I was saying hi to Jay. He just came here.
What's good, yeah. What's good? Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I got a lot to unravel, man. That's Jesus.
I can't believe they didn't even mention her.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, dude, you put me on something great. I'm just gonna say this one thing. You put me on something great, and I'm just gonna thank you so much for it, man. Because this, oh my god, oh my god,
God. Did they determine her cause of death?
Oh, for Gene Hackman and his wife. I think the wife died first, and like it's a haunting story. But I think Hackman died like a week after her because he had Alzheimer's and he was not even fucking aware.
It says that he died to heart disease.
Yeah, because I think she was looking for his medication or something, and she slipped or something, and she died. And then Jean obviously could not like live without the heart medicine, so I think he died from a heart failure there, and one of their dogs sadly I think starved to death while the other two were just outside.
Which is
That's
just
really
terrible.
sad.
It's horrible, yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh my gosh.
It is
Yeah.
the definition of dominoes falling over.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to hear
exactly.
that. Yeah, I'm very sorry to hear that.
But I hate how a rave party is fucking happening while we're talking about this. I chose the wrong time to play Mario Kart music, but
Oh, wow.
No, why?
I don't know. This podcast is fucking weird. That's why. But anyways, on a lighter topic, Ant-Man 4 is rumored to happen, so that's awesome.
Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah.
The
Oh,
fact
no.
that they're willing to do that after the like absolute downfall of Quantumania is insane.
You know,
Exactly.
when I was watching Quantumania, that's probably the first movie that I was actually out loud said, "What the fuck am I watching?" Because I saw some weird shit in that movie. that
It's
I'm
a
like,
fever dream. It's
I'm-
not
I'm-
real.
It's literally a fever dream.
I
Like if
came
I
here.
went to sleep and I woke up, that would have been what my dream was. Like if I
Yeah.
dreamt an Ant-Man movie, that's what it would have been.
I had a dream that MODOK was a terrible CGI head of the villain from the first Ant-Man movie.
I had this
Jesus.
horrible nightmare about Kang being trampled by a bunch of fucking ants.
Meanwhile, Kane doesn't even matter.
It does, yeah, no, they retconned Kang. That whole movie
Yeah.
was just to set up Kang, and then he's like, oh no, we're bringing in Doctor Doom instead.
He's like, "Oh, I killed Thor." Ants kill him.
and he gets one shot by the fucking Wasp, a Z tier character.
Oh,
I know.
just putting it on the board.
But yeah, I don't know why Ant-Man 4 is happening, but it's happening. And also, what's happening is, I don't know what the fuck is happening with Spider-Man 4, whether it's a multiverse film or a street-level film.
I
But
hope it's street level because that's more Spider-Man.
here's something interesting, though. Sadie Sink, who plays as Max from Stranger Things, has been officially cast as a role we don't know yet, as a role in Spider-Man 4.
Interesting.
And people have been saying
It's going to be Mary Jane, the red hair, obviously.
people have been saying
but-
either that, and I
yeah.
think I might have heard that she is actually officially Mary Jane, or she's for some reason Jean Grey, or like
what?
she's been kind of a fan cast for a while. They've been apparently there's been a rumor that Sadie was going to be the daughter of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Mayday Parker, and she was going to appear in Spider-Man 4. So either way, like if it's one of those three roles, either way, she's definitely in the fucking movie. It's confirmed. But what doesn't make sense to me is we already have an MJ in the Spider-Man universe with
Yeah, we do.
Zendaya, so that does not make
Yeah.
sense. I know she's
That-
called
yeah,
Michelle
that makes
Jones,
sense.
but still, like, why would you include somebody called Mary Jane when we already have an MJ? Just
Exactly.
introduce her as like fucking Black Cat or some shit. I don't know. I know she's a redhead, but she can dye her hair blonde or wear a fucking wig. Scarlett Johansson did it.
I don't know, man. I probably think it's probably like us. I don't know. I really don't want to like pull the multiverse card here, but like that's like probably like the only explanation that I can really actually see, like her like coming into like a portal or something, on some Doctor Strange stuff, in order to like probably like get Peter Parker like some like intel or news about what's happening with her world
I don't know.
or whatnot.
It's
But,
really
like,
weird.
It's weird, and I really think like it's not really called. It's really uncalled for. I don't see anything like like really like surpassing Zendaya's role at this point, and they're really gonna do something like as horrendous as that. They either have to make like some real desperate attempt in order to like fill in like the Mary Jane shoes of Spider-Man past, or they just got something like hopefully cooking in the works in order to make any of this like plausible. But other than that, I just don't see why they would even like have two Mary Janes. So, but like I guess we just have to go see with that. Like, yeah, this is kind of like a wait and see type of thing.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
it's extremely weird, but I mean, I like Sadie in Stranger Things, and I'm sure she's a great actress in other things. But cool, we'll see what the fuck happens because I don't know what's happening in Spider-Man 4.
It'll be like No Way Home, but with Mary Janes, different Mary Janes.
Oh my god.
So that's what I'm pretty much getting at.
We got we got the bitchy one, we got the young one, and we got Zendaya.
That's the only explanation. I mean, like, you know, what else? What else are they gonna go do at this point?
I have no idea.
Have, like multiple same characters all at once. I mean, like, it's got to be like a multiverse thing.
I would love it if.
Did you know the lead actor from Spider-Man Multiverse is the only actor that never dated their partner Mary Jane? It's crazy.
Oh,
I
are you referring to Shamik from Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, I know. We talked about it on a previous podcast, but it's crazy that he's the only one who hasn't dated his partner Mary Jane. But right now, he's coming off as a creep, so maybe that's a good thing.
Probably, yeah. I mean, Toby did date Kirsten Dunst for a while. Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone were a thing for years. Zendaya and Tom Holland are officially engaged. So, yeah, it's just kind of... Shamik's like, do I get one? No. No, you don't get one.
No.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But, yeah, it's whatever.
I do want to say this real quick. I like the fact that the Stranger Things cast are actually getting their respect in Hollywood a whole lot more because, like, they're in other big, major productions. So I just want to go say, like, you know, it's definitely a step in the right direction for, like, you know, cast wise and actor and actress wise. Like, you know, I have so much great hopes for all of them, and I know for a fact they're gonna go take any type of future role they have seriously. So I just want to give like a big shout out to, like, you know, the Stranger Things cast. I mean, like, all of them, you guys rock. You guys are awesome, and just keep doing you. No matter what Hollywood throws at you, whether it's a great thing or a blatant thing, who knows? Like, and I know for a fact everyone in that star-studded cast is gonna go far, and I just wish them all the best.
I agree.
Like, definitely.
And speaking of Stranger Things, I didn't plan on talking about this, and also I kind of forgot, but we might have a couple release dates for Stranger Things 5. I think half of the series is coming out in October, and the other is in November. So it might be divided into 2 parts again.
Huh.
I know. I don't know how I feel, but at the same time, I'm like, okay.
I forgot that season 4 was divided into 2 parts. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, but...
I forgot about that. Wow.
But, anyways, speaking of returning characters, Scream 7 has gotten a lot more wild. Dewey's returning, apparently. You know, the guy who fucking died in Scream 5. He apparently is coming back, along with Matthew Lillard and past Scream characters, and Courtney Cox's character, and also Sidney Prescott herself. So it kind of seems like this is the final Scream movie, while also kind of being nostalgia bait again. So it's kind of weird that he's back after he got brutally fucking murdered by a ghost face in the 5th movie. So it's like, okay, I don't know what your plan is, but
I don't know how he died, so
let's just say his guts saw the outside world. So.
Oh, okay.
That's the best I can put it.
You treat it like it's a casual thing, like, oh, okay, his guts are inside out.
Yeah, you said that so calmly. It's concerning.
It's because I saw Invincible and I've seen some fucked up shit. So
I've seen Game of Thrones. I've seen all sorts of shit.
Invincible fucked up my mind, dude.
Is the Scream on Netflix any good?
Wait, is there Scream on Netflix?
Yeah, one of the Scream movies.
Let me
realize how desensitized I am.
On if it's the one I'm thinking of. Okay, there's Scream. Oh. Well, since the new ones are fine. since 6 and 5 are both on there. I think the new movies are fine, but I'd recommend watching the original because that's a classic.
It seems like Netflix only puts on like the newer remakes of all the horror movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Halloween, It, Scream. Like they don't put any of the old ones. They just put the new ones on there.
Yeah, I guess. But now that I've speed ran through the news, I know a lot of people are watching the podcast right now, and I appreciate you all. So, if you guys have seen Daredevil Born Again, you guys are welcome to stick around. But if you haven't, this is your fresh warning right now. We are going to spoil Daredevil Born Again. I was planning on watching it originally. I was planning on reviewing it after the series ends. But considering how great the show is right now and how like I really want to talk about it, I kind of don't really want to I don't really want to do a podcast without talking about it. So if you're interested in Daredevil Born Again and want to see it and don't want to be spoiled, this is your fresh warning right now. Leave the podcast. I do not mind. You can come back later once you've seen the 3 episodes, but I've given it quite some time, and I think people have probably seen or know what happens by now. So this is your fresh warning. 3, 2, 1. All right. So, what do you guys think of for those who've seen it? What have you guys thought? What are your guys' thoughts on episodes 1 through 3 of Daredevil Born Again? Before we can start with you, or Jake, I guess.
If Jake wants to go, Jake can go ahead. I'll follow him.
Okay, so for the most part, I do like it, but I do have a few gripes with it here and there. First of all, that first episode, I think it kind of went a bit too quick in the beginning. It's just like, hey, here's all the old cast. Now one's dead. Now they're all like fighting Bullseye, and then like Matt pushes them off a building, and it like all happened so fast. Like it was kind of hard to almost like process what was going on almost. And part of that fight with like Daredevil and Bullseye kind of seemed CGI at one point, which I don't really like that. And I did notice that the cinematography in those episodes are kind of different than like the main show. It has like a different feel. I don't know how to describe it. Like something like the original show had like a certain feel to it. But for the most part, I do like it. I do like showing how Matt is still trying to recover from the grief of losing Foggy. I do like that. And it is kind of lacking in the Daredevil department, but it's only the 3rd episode out of how many are there going to be?
9.
9. I did like the trial sequences and stuff, and like the introduction of White Tiger. Well, introduction and as much as we could get from him.
Yeah. Oh man.
Pretty much his entire origin story, and then death. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to what the other episodes are gonna have. But I'm kind of nervous as well on that they might screw it up near the end. I don't know. Marvel kind of has a track record for kind of really doing bad with shows.
Yeah, but
going in someone's mic.
Is it mine?
I think it's Jay's.
Yeah, I think it's just Jay's.
Oh. I don't know. But you got anything else to say?
I think that's about it.
All right. D4, you can go next.
All right. So these are very fresh to everyone. I watched these literally all today. I've watched every single episode today in preparation for this during work. So I thought that the first fight scene, it was weird because it felt almost too quick and too slow at the same time. Like the part where Bullseye's like really just like practically he's just like whimpering away for like at least 3 minutes it lost my attention for a minute there. I was like, come on, let's just like wrap it up here. Also the fighting, like a lot of the time when a lot of the times when it comes to Avengers or like any Marvel related things, when it comes to cinematic things, when they're fighting, it feels a lot more fluid. When it came to Daredevil, like you can go back and watch that first fight scene, like it didn't even really feel like their fists were like really connecting to the other person. Like you could really tell that they were trying not to hit each other.
It's like WWE.
Yeah, literally. That's kind of what it felt like. It felt really like it just didn't feel action-packed as much as it should have. And I thought that was kind of, lame. And also Foggy getting killed off. Like, you start the show and you're like, all right, can't wait to see my favorite characters. Bam, he's dead.
Yeah.
And
And also, they kind of made him seem like kind of an idiot almost in the
Yes,
beginning,
they
where
made
he
him
was
seem
like,
so
I
stupid."
didn't want to give you an excuse. He's like, I'm already Daredevil again.
Yeah, and the thing was, it was like, okay, he's Daredevil, and then yeah, he was mourning, and then it's like, okay, for the rest of like these 3 episodes, I mean, we've seen like what 1 or 2 scenes of like him actually like fighting again. I mean, I know that it's like he's mourning over stuff, but like there's some parts where it's like, okay, this is still like let's pick up the pace at some points. And I mean, also with the fact that freaking White Tiger just like spawned in and then died was so like it didn't make any like at that point it didn't make any sense. They were just like, okay, cool, he's not guilty. Bam. Like I think that they could have done it better weaving the story, and we'll see how they do it through the next 6 episodes. But I mean, they have a lot to kind of like try and make up for, because I feel like the hype's kind of died from episode 1, and you can kind
Also-
of feel that.
Just so you know, I think the reason why they killed off White Tiger is because the actor died. I think that's why they did that.
No, I think they had plans of killing him off before, because apparently that happens in the comics too.
Oh yeah. Oh, for real? For real?
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, because
Yeah, because White Tiger was replaced by a girl, I think.
I think that's either his wife or his niece.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's his
That
daughter,
makes
not
sense.
his wife. I thought it was his wife, but I think it might be his daughter.
It's his niece. But,
Okay.
Niece,
Gotcha.
whatever. They're all the same.
That reminds
But,
me, we also saw the Punisher's like the skull logo as well, like hinted at in like the 2nd episode too, and the 3rd episode.
The
Yeah.
thing is that I don't know if it was the Punisher that killed White Tiger. It could have been someone wearing his logo because they didn't show his face. And I
It
think
definitely isn't.
Because-
I can confidently say
Why-
it is not the
yeah.
Punisher at all.
why not show his face, And also, I think in like the trailer or something, one of the teasers, didn't he have like a lot of like scruff on his face or like beard and stuff, as if he hasn't been a Punisher for a long time?
Yeah, he looks homeless.
Yeah, he kind of looks like how he looked like in Punisher season 1.
Yeah,
when,
like in the
he-
opening of
he-
season 1, he looks like
Yeah.
he's been retired for years.
Yeah, and
Right.
that makes me think he's not in the game anymore, and other people are trying to act like him pretty much. I think that's what's kind of happening. I think kind of like Daredevil, he needs to get back into it. Has to
Yeah.
be Punisher born again.
So
At this point, everybody's retired.
I guess, yeah, it's just like Daredevil. Oh, shitty. I gotta get up again. Here we go.
Mm.
So, Jay, what did you think of it? Do you have anything different?
Honestly, like this has been like probably the 2nd most impactful superhero show that I've seen so far of this year. I'm gonna wait for the first one later on in the cast. But I will say that Daredevil, yeah, he's back in full swing, baby. He is. I actually am pretty much down that like Foggy Nelson's dead, but I don't know. I mean, like I'm so entertained about it. Like despite the gore, despite like suspense and the drama, the build up itself just gives reason as to why like you should like keep tuning in and see what happens next. I mean, I know for a fact we're not going to see nothing crazy like Foggy and his body entering the Lazarus pit like Batman style or anything like that for him to become
Yeah.
his own Red Hood. But like I really want to go see what Kingpin is or Wilson Fisk is actually gonna go do as the mayor for New York. I really feel like he's going to pretty much like showcase both sides of his personality. One as a person who wants to go change, and one who has to go live with the dark past that he once had. If anything, maybe it's something that's probably brewing inside. I really feel like something that's brewing inside. That's probably gonna be exposed later, because of what happened with episode 3. But I want to go say this: White Tiger. Remember his name. Remember the first White Tiger. If we're gonna do a second White Tiger, because I do remember that there was like a female White Tiger. So I know I have a feeling that like obviously the first White Tiger is retired, yeah, for obvious reasons. But I feel like the second White Tiger, like the second one is gonna be put onto the mantle in order to like continue his legacy, is probably the main reason as to why we want to go continue the show, just to root for that particular character. But at the same time, I mean, like, it just shows so much value merit with like how far like vigilantes will actually go. I'll actually say even superheroes, how far they will actually go in order to keep the actual real peace and justice in the streets. So like episode 2 hit me so hard that like it just exposed like another side of like corrupt America and law enforcement. Like it hits so home, and the fact that Marvel's actually like doing a very good deep dive on something that's an actual realistic aspect on what's happening in reality. Like who wouldn't want to go continue the story even if you don't know what Daredevil is? Seriously.
Yeah.
Like it hits so hard, and the fact that Matt Murdock is doing so much in order to like prove innocence to like a vigilante, and also showing the world that there can be a world that exists where vigilantes, not just police officers that only follow whatever jurisdiction that they have. Some, or probably if not most, as also been exposed, will only follow their own creed in order to get the job done. And unfortunately, this is a realistic aspect that we have with real police officers. There are corrupt police officers, that always has been. Ever since the system has been pulling the strings just to make them do what they should do in their own eyes, or what they feel like is what's needed best, just to go protect their own men and women in uniform. So it shines so many lights. There's so much deeper layers to all of this. Like, this is not just a Marvel show. This is something that's actually like showcasing what it really means to live in this high-end society, and even not just the streets of New York, but just like any type of particular metropolis in America. Like when it comes to the real among real, there's gonna be people who are gonna go do what they can in order to get one over on somebody just to go protect their own back. And it's so sad to say this, and it's so sad to see this, but that's the reality that we're living in. And I really feel like it's not just an American thing. I really feel like it's a worldly thing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. So the fact that Matt Murdock is just doing everything he can in order to help White Tiger to clear his name, and the fact that people are so afraid of the police, and their corruption, they're just real disservice to actually being honorable people who are gonna protect and serve. You know what I mean? And so scared to the point that they can't even humble their own selves. They have to follow suit with a corrupted creed, right? That they don't even know is even a right or the wrong path to follow. Right? So you're seeing all this happening, showcasing right in front of your eyes. And Matthew Murdock is still going through the ringer, despite losing Foggy Nelson, in order to give hope to the regular people, the middle class, the lower class, and even the upper class, who probably don't know any better. Still giving hope that real justice is actually out there, that the system is not all broken. Like, it just made me realize that, like, you know, this isn't just something that has been brewing up for a long time in order to make a great, spectacular season. This is something that's a message, an impactful message that everyone needs to go watch. I really feel like the whole world needs to watch Daredevil Born Again. Because the first 3 episodes just show you how deep, like, the rabbit hole really goes. Yeah. And I'm not really trying to soapbox right now, but, like, you know, like, everyone needs to go check this out. Because it's shining so much light to what needs to be set upon. All the corruption, all the greed that's been happening in our lives. You see the riots. You see the police brutality. You see the corrupted people in badges. And it hurts my soul because I actually have friends who are serving in the military and friends that are also honorary policemen who've been sworn in. And they swear to me and everybody else that they love that they wouldn't do crap like this. But that issue still exists. And the fact that we have a person who doesn't have to go don the mask in order to still fight for the freedom of people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Would still throw in their hat in order to make sure that there is a reality that we can go live in, that we can go expose whatever tyranny that doesn't need to be in our streets. Who are the real bad guys? Who are the real bad guys? Is it the vigilantes that Kingpin hates personally because it's messing up his shadow business? Or is it really the people that we see every single day that we trust, who walk in that uniform and hold that badge? Who are they really? And that's a shining golden light that Daredevil Born Again shows. So it is definitely the epitome of what it means to go through that reality. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm not trying to soapbox, but like
no. It's good.
That was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I get your point. But for me, I got like, okay, you all know my qualms about Disney. Like I've said it a million times. I hate that fucking company and all that. And I was nervous about Daredevil. Like even when the trailer came out, I'm like, this looks great, but I'm still kind of keeping it like, you know, like I don't know for sure because they did a good job with Deadpool. They kept it rated R and all that stuff, and I'd argue fucking worse than the first two, like in terms of violence. But I was nervous about this, and I have my qualms about the opening, especially since they killed off Foggy in the first 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, that was a huge ballsy move. But I gotta say, that's a little better. That's better than what we originally were gonna get. Because originally, Karen and Foggy were not even supposed to be in the show. They were gonna get killed off screen. And we just had to live with that. So, I mean, it still sucks that Foggy died. But at least it kind of opened up a story that is really good for Daredevil so far, because he's like he went from trying to be like Batman, where he's like ain't no like somebody has to fight crime, to like I let the system handle it. Basically, I think that's what he said. Like I've ever since Foggy died, like I wanted the system to handle it or whatever. Mm-hmm. So as much as I have qualms with them killing off Foggy, and I still think it's a ballsy move to this day, I get it. And I gotta say, like, I'm a huge fan of one-shot fights, and that fight in the cafe and, like, going up the balcony and stuff, I thought that was amazing. I genuinely think that's, like, one of the best fights in the entire MCU. because
True,
it's
true.
like the CGI may be wonky, I will admit, but I still think it's kind of cool. It still has that like Daredevil feel to it, and I feel like that opening was kind of testing the waters for fans, like are they on board? Are they not and stuff? Because they kind of brought in a lot of stuff from the original show that worked in the original show. Like they brought back Bullseye, they brought back the action and stuff. They even brought back the theme song. Yeah, the intro's different,
they
but I
did.
kind of like the remix. But it's not without its flaws, but I gotta say the first 3 episodes are really good. And I think that they did not pull any punches, and I have huge qualms with the Disney Plus shows, especially some of the later ones like She-Hulk and Secret Invasion and all that. I'm really happy they did not pull any punches this time, because Daredevil is as violent and as fun as ever before. And people are bitching that there's not that much Daredevil in the show. Give it a minute. It's kind of setting up more Daredevil and stuff. Once Muse shows up, Daredevil's going to be full swing, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just setting things up, because it has been a little while since we've last seen Daredevil fully. His cameos in the other MCU projects don't really count, but I think it's pretty cool that Kingpin showed up again, and they're actually doing him justice and not making him a wuss like in Hawkeye. And I like how
They're making him so good.
they're making him really good. The little couples counseling was kind of ridiculous. I'm like, okay, really, Fisk? But I still think it was a little funny. But
No,
Yeah.
the part with the sandwich one where he was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna resign," and then he like lifts up the papers, like, "This is my favorite place," and it's like showing like the cops, like the kid and like all that stuff. I was like, "Ooh, he got him good."
I know, that's really cool.
And like the deal he was making is like, how about $0 to the police, zero funding? Is like, how about that? You have a deal?
That's really Kingpin gives no shit at all, and I love that. And he also mentioned Spider-Man, which got me hype, because Kingpin is technically a Spider-Man villain as well. Shouts out to PS4 Spider-Man, the opening, but and Spider-Verse as well, but yeah, I think like that conversation, the diner scene between Kingpin and Daredevil was really good. I'd argue that's like the best part of that episode, because like I love how they just kind of reunited after 7 years, like, or however long it was, and instead of like trying to kill each other like they did in the finale, they're just like, how's life? Just like how's Vanessa? Didn't you get shot in the eye or some shit? And Kingpin got a good laugh out of that, and it's just like, damn, okay. They're trying their best to be cool, but I could tell they kind of still are like, don't fuck with me, dude.
They still had their threats at the end.
Yeah, the threats at the end were genuinely great. Like Daredevil was like, step out of line, and I expect me to be there. And then Kingpin hits back like, if you do any of your vigilante stuff again, I will kill everybody, or whatever the fuck he said. And it was just like really good. I'm like, damn, dude, Kingpin fought back.
He's basically gonna ban all vigilantes. He's like, I'm gonna ban vigilantes, which I mean, he's still kind of,
Yeah.
We don't know why he wants to ban vigilantes. It's so that he can do whatever the heck he wants and not have anyone. That's pretty much the only reason why he's doing that.
Yeah, he wouldn't give a shit otherwise. Like, he's like, yeah, fuck it, let them roam around. But the fact that he's mayor now and he wants to have full control, it's like, yeah, okay, those bitches gotta go. Spider-Man, Punisher,
I'm
all of them.
Because Fisk had tried to run for mayor, like in like the comics and stuff like that. I'm surprised that he didn't do it in the actual Daredevil show, like the first one. He does that sometimes.
I think they were
like,
trying to set up, like, I think in season 4, I think they were trying to make him be mayor. So, like, I feel like they were kind of slowly building up to that.
Because Fisk, he wants to kind of, at least he claims that he wants to make the city a better place, but his methods for going about it are very messed up. And like deep down, that's not really what he desires. I think he actually wants to be the man on top, and he's trying to justify it to himself, being like, no, but I'm, funneling some of my money into the Union Allied construction and rebuilding buildings and stuff. I'm rebuilding the city. I'm doing good.
Yeah, and that whole relationship with Vanessa, although interesting, I'm like, okay, it's kind of draggy. It's like the Mon Mothma stuff from Andor. Peak ass show, but weakest point by far.
I liked Vanessa and Wilson Fisk's dynamic in the original show. I thought that was actually interesting, that relationship building up. But in Born Again, it kind of feels weird considering where we left off with them in season 3 and then where we are now. It's kind of just like, oh yeah, you cheated on me while I was in prison and you took over my
and
job.
also it's just kind of like we needed to see the other shows before we saw Born Again, because for those who don't know, spoilers for Hawkeye and Echo, shows that nobody's gonna fucking watch. Kingpin got shot in the eye, and apparently he was trying to recover from that. So he really had no control over the business that he was in. So Vanessa had to take over, and she just thought, you know what? Let me fuck another dude just to make me feel better. So she, yeah.
Which makes no sense at all.
It doesn't make sense because she would have done that in season 1 or some shit.
Remember in like season 1 where like he gives her the ring and then like we don't see her all throughout season 2. She comes back in season 3. She's like, I've been waiting all this time for you. Like she was angry at him for like leaving her, but she never did anything like that. Like you could tell she really cared about Wilson. Now he gets shot in his eye and she's like, well, now things have changed.
Well,
ugly.
Since you missed an eye, I'd prefer fucking somebody with 2 eyes.
Now you're like Daredevil, you can't see.
Like John Cena's heel turn, you can't see him.
It's like, God.
And we didn't watch Echo. We just watched like the first 2 episodes and stopped.
Yeah, I literally
hated
stopped because I got so fucking bored. I was bored out of my fucking mind, and I usually don't do that with shows. I gave She-Hulk a fucking chance, for God's sakes. So if I stopped with Echo halfway through, yeah, you kind of fucked up.
And then they gave her powers for some reason. I didn't know if she was supposed to have powers. No, in Echo, remember?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Vanessa. I'm like, when the fuck did she get powers?
No,
Vanessa turned into the Hulk.
Power pussy.
When did you think I was talking about Vanessa? We were talking about Echo.
I don't know. I thought I was gonna go back to Daredevil Born Again. I thought we were talking about that, but anyways.
Vanessa, what do you mean you have superpowers?
Watch this. Superman jumps away.
I
Wrong
can't-
universe, Vanessa.
I can't get STDs anymore.
I slept with one guy and he was a Kryptonian.
I slept with another Wilson. Deadpool comes out.
I slept with someone from the DC universe.
I didn't even see anyone. It was the Flash.
I fucked Ted. That's what Vanessa's like in the Born Again.
Yeah, God. What's 17 more years?
It only lasted 18 seconds.
Oh god.
But anyways,
That's fucked up, Stefan.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, White Tiger. Yeah, he was underused, I will admit, but I do. This gets to my next point. I love how realistic the show is, because although they killed off Foggy very quickly, I think it's kind of accurate to how shit just happens in real life. Because nobody expects anybody to get shot, especially in the middle of fucking nowhere, like at like midnight by a bar. Like nobody expects that. So when that happens to like Foggy or something, or let's say when White Tiger comes out and tries to like he's not guilty and all that, like I absolutely love episode 3. There's no action at all. It's literally just a court drama, which is also the flaws I have with Joker 2. That's just a fucking court drama and nothing else, plus other things. That movie's dog shit. Don't watch it ever. You will blow your brains out, like Punisher style. But anyways,
Dang.
I think
that's why I didn't see it.
But the way they did it is that, like, you know White Tiger's innocent, and you're rooting for him, and you're wondering, like, how is Matt going to get out of this situation on his own? Like, what's he going to do? Is he going to prove that he's actually a really good lawyer? And even Saul Goodman would be impressed by his actions in this episode, because he kind of pulls out the trump card where he's like, he pulls out the mask of White Tiger and he's like, are you the vigilante White Tiger and all that shit. And at first somebody would be like, Matt, what the fuck are you doing? But at that point I'm like, he's got a fucking plan. There's he'd be a total hypocrite if he just revealed White Tiger's identity like that. Like that, there'd be no way anybody would forgive him after that. So I knew that he had a plan, and I gotta say, like, it was a really good plan. Like, it almost fucked up, but it was really good, and he ended up being not guilty and all that, and as soon as White Tiger puts the mask back on and the suit, he gets shot right in the head, and that was the shock moment that shocked everybody, and I love how realistic that was, because you don't expect it, and it's very ballsy, but I love that. It kind of builds up the character, like, oh, you get to know him and stuff, and, like, what's going to happen and stuff, and you're rooting for him only for him to get killed off. That's extremely tragic, and that just sets the tone for how dark this show can be. It pulls no punches, and I gotta say...
Daredevil's criminal defense?
Matt Murdock is a lawyer. So, like, Matt Murdock is basically a blind lawyer who goes and fights crime at night as Daredevil. So he's pretty much Marvel's Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, but is he a prosecutor? He's a prosecutor, right?
He's a defense attorney.
Yeah, he's a defense attorney.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So criminal defense. Okay.
Yeah. So he.
And the thing is, because he has super hearing, he can hear your heartbeat to see if you're lying or not, and he kind of uses that to pick out his clientele so that he knows that you're innocent.
He could get himself a winning case, and like with episode 3, they did a really good job in like making it all feel like with some shows they really make it so obvious how it's gonna go, but I think with episode 3, for me at least, I was like, oh, they're doing really good in like keeping up the suspense. Like that entire court case, you're like, this could go either way depending on how the jury or like, how the judge handles it.
And like not even Better Call Saul does that sometimes, which I think is a much better show. But like these court cases are like as unrealistic as some of them may be because the justice system fucking works. I think that like it's kind of crazy that you don't really know what's gonna happen. So like, because what if Matt did fuck up? What if he did fuck up the court case and like White Tiger's guilty? Where would that story go? And what if like he like I don't know. So it's just like, holy shit, this could go either way, and I don't really know where they're gonna go with this. And I just love that suspense, and I love how like it keeps you on the edge of your seat. And despite there being no action or no Daredevil at all, it's just all Matt Murdock. I gotta say, bravo Disney for doing that, because like it's one of the rare W's that you have nowadays, and it just proves how dark and realistic and the show can be, and it pulls no fucking punches at all. I'm happy they redid this show from scratch, because it would have been dog shit if they went the original route. So I'm very happy with what they did. So, yeah, so we're only 3 episodes in. My opinion could definitely change. And it's a fucking Disney Plus Marvel show that we're talking about. So y'all know how those go. It peaks at episode 4, and then by the finale, it's dog shit. Except Loki. But you never know. I think it's going to be good. And I can't wait to see what the rest of it holds. Because Kingpin was a man of his word, and he sent out a guy to hunt White Tiger while dressing up as the Punisher. And Punisher is going to get involved in some way, and I'm excited for it. So, yeah, that's kind of all I got. Got any closing thoughts, guys?
No, you're pretty much good.
It's promising. That's all I can really say. It's a promise. Episode 3 really brought back that promise that I was looking for.
Yeah, I agree. Jake, what about you?
I'm cautiously optimistic about the later episodes. I know Muse is a villain that's going to appear in the show. I know only a little bit about him, and I can't wait to see him when he gets introduced as a villain. That's kind of probably going to ramp the stakes up.
Yeah. I agree.
And I think it's definitely gonna be like that kid that was talking to the psychiatrist that's Matt's girlfriend now, when he was like, I need some help, I need some guidance. That's definitely Muse. Can't change my mind about that.
I don't remember who is it the one that worked with Fisk or is it somebody else?
No, you'll see if you rewatch one of those episodes where she was like doing like where the guy who was working with Fisk came up to her after this like teenager talked to her about needing therapy. The kid that's very
Yeah.
suspicious.
Yeah, that's totally Muse. That is 100%
Yeah.
Muse.
And the way in his eyes, like the way that he was like staring and he was like listening to her, like you can tell there's something wrong with that guy.
Yeah, that dude fucking crazy. But anyway, speaking of crazy, we talked about Invincible seasons 1 and 2 last week, or a couple weeks ago. We are now talking season 3 that just ended on Thursday, and that's one of the 2 reasons why I brought D4 on. So, again, like for Daredevil, if you do not want to see if you do not want to know anything about Invincible at all, get off now.
Okay, I do kind of want to watch the show at one point. At some point, I will.
Yeah, so that includes Jake. If you want to leave, go right ahead.
No.
Okay, well, I gotta go pee anyway, so bye guys.
Okay, take a half-hour pee. That's fine. But anyways, because that's about as long as we'll talk about Invincible. Never mind. Have a good one, Jake.
Is it gonna be like for like the rest of the podcast? We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll pretty much just be done here.
Okay. Have a good one, Jake.
Have a good one, guys. See ya.
See you. Thanks for talking,
Good to
Jake.
see you, man. Bye.
Have a good one.
All right, Invincible season 3. D4, what'd you think of it?
I haven't seen it, but I don't mind spoilers.
Okay. I thought that season 3 was definitely crazy. The ending, I think episode 7 and 8, like, really... 7 really blew it out of the water with the multiverse marks. Like, that was insane. Episode 8 did even crazier work with Conquest coming in and, like really pushing Mark to his absolute limit was kind of crazy to see. And, like, you could tell that Mark was, like, really trying to... At the end there, he was like, I don't want to use my full strength. And he's, like, fighting with himself, basically. And he finally gave in, and because of what he saw... Eve just like basically, shattered into pieces, and he fought back and he won. And then you got Cecil with who's using Sinclair to reanimate the Invincibles that had died and make them robots, like the old army vets, which I think is like there's a level, and that's already beyond. Not to mention that they're keeping Conquest captive.
Dude, I don't know why the fuck he did that.
He's gonna break out. They're like, if his brain activity, whatever, it's gonna blow up. Like, bro, if he could survive 5 building tons being crushed on him, I don't think that this is gonna matter.
Dude, if he made Mark, who in quotes of Cecil, is 138% more powerful than he was, if Conquest made Invincible his bitch boy. Yeah, what the fuck you doing? Keeping him alive. What are you doing?
I don't. It doesn't make any sense. And a lot of people that, if you've read the comics, you already know what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna say what's gonna happen, but a lot of people were talking about the future of it. People making they're gonna make Conquest this reanimate or whatever as well. That's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Conquest is too strong. It's just never gonna happen. But when it. Also, not only that redirecting from that, I thought it was cool seeing Oliver truly kind of grow into what he needed to become. Oliver's kind of leans more towards his dad, and he's like, dude, you have to kill this person. He still has a good heart, but he's like, dude, this guy literally almost ruined the entire world. Especially with Angstrom. Angstrom literally got the chance to escape because Invincible didn't take that final blow in episode 7. And, I mean, even Oliver was like, dude, what the heck are you doing, man? Like,
Exactly.
and then Invincible was like, yeah, you're right. Oops. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, bro, it's too late.
Whoopsies.
I got
what
his
did
arm.
I do? Uh-oh.
I got his arm. Now he's a robot arm, and it's so much cooler. But I don't know that. And then I kind of wish that we saw more of, like, Alan and Omni-Man. Like, I kind of wish that there was more like, we saw a good amount of them, but I kind of wish, like, there was still more momentum pushing towards them so we could see more what they're doing. Because there's a lot of times where I finished an episode that I was like, okay, but, like, what's going on over there? Because I want to see Alan and Omni-Man absolutely whooping people, bro. Like, that's what I wanted to see. But no, we only saw a little bit of it. But, you know, more to come in Season 4, obviously, with the Viltrumite War and all that kind of stuff that'll happen. But honestly, I think it was really good. I think it had a very strong setup into Season 4. And, man, I do not want to wait a year for another season, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it's going to be a
I
painful
started
ass
and
wait.
finished. Oh, it's going to be terrible.
But dude,
yeah,
26
no, honestly,
is going to be nuts for shows.
Dude,
It's going to be nuts.
I'm excited. I'm really excited to just see what they do. And I'm excited for the animations. And I'm just excited for the entire show. I think all of the actors that they have, even from, like they've kept, like, everybody, like, every single actor that they have, like, perfectly fits their role. And I think that's really rare for animated shows nowadays. I mean, you got Chris Pratt on, like, every other iconic character.
Right.
I mean, like, it's rare for them to actually find people that'll fit the role so well that you can be like, yeah, that's this person.
Exactly.
And some people, they can play different characters, and that's good. You're really talented if you can play two different characters, and I can't just go, okay, that's Mario that's playing Garfield.
Yeah.
Or that's Star-Lord playing Mario.
Exactly. The fact that they casted Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who is a fucking beast in The Walking Dead, like, I absolutely love that. I think he was perfect as Conquest. And J.K. Simmons, I've said before, but I'll say it again, top 3 favorite actors ever. He is perfect as Omni-Man. Like, I absolutely adored his performance. So
He brings the character justice, honestly. Like,
absolutely.
I miss my wife.
I miss my wife.
And then people in I remember when that came out, people were like, so does he miss the alien that's dead, or does he miss the one on Earth? And we're like, I think it's the one on Earth.
Yeah, how long did he know that bug bitch for? Like a day? Like, come on.
I think it's like 4 months, and then he's like,
4
well,
months?
time flies by faster over here, or whatever. So,
Yeah, like, what the fuck? It's just so stupid, but whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't like Oliver. I know he's a kid, but I just think he's annoying. I don't know if it's just me who thinks that. Like, Jay really hasn't said anything, but
I don't think he's annoying. I just feel like he's a young, not Gohan, but I would say like he's like a young Goten, or probably like Trunks. Whereas like he just always wants to go prove himself, like, and like, you know, try to be the best ability that he can go be. You know, he wants to like get into the action, get into the fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really see him like as someone who's like, I don't see him as annoying. I just feel like he's just so he wants to really get into the field and just like prove his worth. Like,
he's just a kid, and he's also a little bit more impatient than his brother was, because the thing is, his brother, like Invincible, he got his powers when he was like, what, 17, 18 or whatever?
yeah.
And so the thing is, he's still a kid, and he's growing faster, but the thing is, that level of impatience is still a human trait. So him being a kid, he's going to be like, oh, I want to get out. And of course, he's seen his brother go fight people, and he's like, well, I have the same powers, so that means I'm going to do this. That's why he's so eager, and I think that they portrayed that very well, because the thing is with him is he's trying to like live up to his dad's legacy without really knowing his dad's legacy, and it's really complicated because he doesn't even really know. I don't think they've fully told him everything.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I still
that is
think he's
actually
a little
true.
bit on the innocent side, so he doesn't even know what's going on. I mean, Omni-Man's kind of more of a good guy. It's still kind of a question mark. He's obviously a good guy now that we think. But I mean, we don't really know what's gonna happen, and I mean, he's growing faster, which means, I mean, by the next time, you know, Invincible sees him, like, he could be like a full-grown adult or whatever. Like the change is gonna be crazy. I mean, what in like season 2 to 3 alone, we saw him go from like just like a waddling toddler into
a watering. We've
toddler.
seen the wife's water break, and now he's a toddler.
Yeah,
Dude,
he definitely grew up like a little too fast.
I think he's about 11 now. I feel like he's close to 11 years
He
old.
might be, yeah. He's like close to the teens, I think.
He definitely gives off that vibe.
For sure.
And the suit change.
Yeah. The suit change. Do you guys like the older suit better or the new suit better?
I like the new suit better. Mark Grayson.
Yeah, for Mark.
Yeah, like it reminds me of like an older Nightwing. I like it.
Yeah, I feel that, and the energy that he has is definitely Nightwing.
I did like the Cecil episode a lot. I think the one where it just shows his backstory and stuff, and the fact that Mark does have a good point as to why he doesn't trust Cecil anymore, because he saw what happened to his friend, to his friend's boyfriend, and it's like, okay, why are you keeping this guy around? I totally get it, and you see Cecil's side of things. I just think it's it was a really well done episode. And
yeah, I mean, I think the entire season did really well. I think that they put a lot of animation time into 7 and 8, and you can really tell that. It's not like to slack off on them or whatever.
I don't know if it was just me kind of half paying attention or something, because I tend to do that because I think I have ADHD or something, but I don't know. I don't see it, to be honest. I mean, yeah, 7 and 8 looked amazing, but I think the rest of the season looked fine. I don't know if it's just me.
I think it looked really good. It was what's it called? Towards the end of 6, going into 7, where they really showcased all before they went to showcase all of them kind of showing up. There was a couple parts where it wasn't it was very clear, and the entire animation of the entire season was incredible. Don't get me wrong, it was awesome. There was just a couple parts that it was okay, it was kind of teetering, but it wasn't bad. It was obviously still enjoyable. I still thought it was great. I still think that the animation was great. It was just a couple parts where it was okay, this might have been a little rushed, but it still looks great. And I mean, that's not on them. I mean, they're trying to produce a whole, these 8 phenomenal looking episodes in a year's time. And I mean, they're working on season 4 right now. And I mean, that's hard enough to do. Animation takes so much time and effort. That's why they made the funny reference in, was it season 2? Where they were oh yeah, when you for animation budget, when you cover their mouth with he covered his mouth or whatever. I
think I remember that.
They do really hard, and I mean, I've seen a lot of the animators posting stuff on YouTube and Reddit and Twitter talking about it. They're this takes a lot of time, but the outcome is so much more worth it, seeing y'all's reaction. So I mean, just sitting here talking about it is probably giving them freaking happy kicks or whatever the heck you want to say.
Yeah.
They're giggling there in their chair. They're really happy about it. And that's super cool. There's a lot of animation studios where they're oh, I could have done this better, this better. They're just dude, we did it, and we did an amazing job.
Yeah,
and y'all are gonna love it.
The two 7 and 8 are the highest rated episodes on IMDb now.
Of course, dude, they were amazing.
They were fantastic.
Back to back good episodes is really cool.
Where
that's
do you
not
see
often.
that nowadays? I haven't seen that shit since Better Call Saul. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that they did it justice, and I think that it was really cool how they were able to cover the entire Invincible War in one episode, in episode 7, to really let the conquest part give in, because then they can actually set up for season 4. Because what they could have done is, because in the comics, the Invincible War, it's decently long. It's a good show. They could have made it 2 episodes if they wanted to. I'm glad that they cut it down, because it helped the lead into it. And I mean, it still flowed seamlessly too. I didn't even think about it until after it was done. I was oh yeah, there were 16 marks that went in there, and we only saw 10 at the end.
Didn't one of them get killed by a fucking yo-yo?
Yep. Yeah, he just got kind of
How? How did they get killed by a yo-yo?
Well, he got kind of like jumped by like 4 superheroes, and then got a yo-yo through the heart. I think. Is pretty
Okay,
much what happened.
that is fucking jumping the shark right there. That's stupid. I mean, did they do that in the show, or was it just the comics?
In the comics, they didn't really touch on it, but in the show, it was like a lot more obvious. Like in the comics, they kind of alluded to it, but in the show, they really just were like, "Yeah, that's what happened."
Yeah, I like the different multiversal variants of Mark. I thought they were really good, and Angstrom pisses me the fuck off. I actually hate him with a burning passion.
Angstrom sucks. Yeah,
He is the. I don't understand how he keeps coming back. Like there's so many, and then you got those stupid little robot guys, just like, oh yeah, we'll get like our fair share later after we repair you for the 3rd time from a near-death experience.
Like I don't know how he didn't die before. His head literally got destroyed. Like
Mark smashed his face in, like
Yeah.
he did a conquest.
He literally did. He pulled a Negan from The Walking Dead. It's ridiculous.
Now he has a robot hand.
Cool. A robot hand. What's that gonna do?
All right. Let me just say my thing.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Yeah, y'all good. Y'all good. I really feel like this really show like how deep this story really goes with the whole Invincible saga. Like it's great, man. Like I really feel like it's just something that it just shows up. You don't know who was gonna die. You don't know what you expect. Like there's just so much blood and gore with everything, but like you still have like that glimmer of hope where you just hope for like something is actually gonna like go down in a very positive light. But like anything can really happen. I just really feel like that, and like I hate the fact I almost was very disturbed that Duplicate was almost dead, but she's not.
yeah.
But now the fact that we see Rex Explosion dead, that's gonna
my
kind
God,
of
yeah.
Oh, Rex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so
That's
that's gonna take me, but like I just want to go see what's gonna go happen like right after this, because if they're really gonna like pull all the punches with what's gonna come for season 4, no shadow of a doubt that's actually gonna happen. But like what they're gonna go do with that is really gonna be like what the Pentagon and the government folks are really gonna go do this time around. To like help with this nuclear science threat that they have, and I can't wait until I see like Alan the Alien and actually Omni-Man to actually like show up and actually like put like their disastrous punches into the mix. Like I really want to go see it, but like the fact that we had one person kind of like sacrifice their life for the greater good, I really feel like it's gonna be something. It's gonna be like something that's gonna be It's gonna hold a whole lot of weight. So like what's to come, and I really can't wait for it. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But like this has been a hell of a round wide. Like season 3 is just freaking out there, bro. It's so out there.
I think it's the best season.
I think so too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you see Invincible kind of progress in who he is as a character too, turning from like. I think I can't kill anyone. That's whatever. To like, okay, it's go time. I'm not holding anything back
Next
anymore.
person that touches me or anybody or my girlfriend again, you're getting
Yeah.
fucked.
Like when he dropped it on Cecil, it's like I will kill you. Like that Cecil. Oh my god, dude, the whole thing with like Cecil and just Cecil. It's just he has these like little tendencies that he does, or like he like the chip planting in Mark's brain with the whole like little sound or whatever. It's just like those little things where I'm like, dude, you're annoying. I'm like, let bro do his thing, and like everybody else is like, dang, this guy's actually like out of line.
Yeah, and the fact that like the fact that Invincible, like Mark has gone through like everything's just been going wrong for him, and even like I forgot about this character, but Powerplex blames him for Powerplex's own fucking doing. It's just like who the hell wouldn't go down that route of like he basically is breaking his rule, like kind of how like Daredevil was, but I'd argue it's for an even better reason. Like, yeah, Foggy dying was a good reason, but I think the fact that like everything's gone wrong for him, he gets his ass whooped more times than the fucking Immortal, and the fact that he like just everything's going wrong for him, at that point I'd turn evil too.
Yeah.
And just give no shit at all.
I wish that they would kind of show a little bit more of Mark's like fight, and because my only problem is they're kind of just going, okay, he's getting absolutely beat, and then he's gonna let out this last burst of energy and kill them. And that's not really how the fight kind of goes.
That seems like a pattern. Like he gets his ass. It seems like
more back and forth.
Yeah, I don't know about y'all. Like I loved that final episode, but I was rolling my eyes every time he got fucking whooped. I'm like, dude, really? Are you not pulling your are you still pulling your punches after this? He literally was about to rip your brother in half. How the fuck are you not beating the ever-loving shit out of him?
Dude, that reminds me of you're about to get a beat down and he just gets slapped down to the ground.
Oh my god,
Oliver.
That was so funny.
Dude, I was like, that kid just gets an absolute reality check.
I know. That was so funny.
All right,
that was, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm out to dip out. I appreciate y'all, but
have a good one, man. I'll see you later.
Thank you so much for having me on the pod. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no problem. I'm sorry that I kind of took it over. Like I was hoping you'd.
No. You're good. Yeah, everyone here is good. Everyone's good. Yeah.
Okay.
I just had to, But I appreciate for you guys having me.
Yeah, anytime, dude.
Thank you so much for having me on the spot. It was really great.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here.
Okay. All right, later.
See you, dude.
All
right. But yeah, I think that also Powerplex in general. Like, what did you think of him?
I thought that the character itself, I understood what he was fighting for. And it's like, okay, that's a cool cause that he's fighting for. Or whatever.
Have a good one, everybody.
See you.
All right, see you.
Yeah.
I thought that the way that the reason why he was fighting was good. I thought the way that he did it was so stupid. I mean, okay, you're like, I'm gonna beat Invincible, and then you proceed to then burn your family to a crisp. And then you go, Invincible, you did that. And he's like, bro, you just electric discharged all over your family and just vaporized them. And you're looking at me? You put those in yourself.
Yeah, and then Mark has the audacity to blame himself for that? What the fuck?
Yeah, and then he was like, I know that it's all my fault.
It's all my fault. No, it wasn't. It was not your fucking fault. That's stupid.
There's no reason that you should be apologizing to him when he's the one that literally caused this entire... legitimately, it would have been an easier conversation if he would have talked to him out on the street than it would have been to, go out and whatever. At least he got a little bit of quote-unquote satisfaction because he, vaporized one of the Invincible variants. But, I mean, even then, I was like, dude, what is your deal? I was like, it was okay, I get his point, and then he kept coming back after every other episode. I was like, okay, this is kind of this has run its course, and it felt like after the first two showings of him, I was like, okay, and then he repeated in episode 7. I was like, bro, I don't even need to see this guy. Just move on. I know that he doesn't like the guy. I know that he wants to kill him. All right, let's just move on.
Dude, I know. And it's a shame he's voiced by Aaron Paul, Jesse Pinkman, but. Come on, dude. Really? You're dragging the whole season.
I think that the funniest and the most memorable part about his entire, character was the fact that in the intro was just him going, and your Invincible title card. And then he just Invincible. And, it kept
oh my god, I was
the
laughing
Invincible
so
title
hard.
card
That
instead
was
of
so
saying
funny.
Invincible. I love how they do the title cards. I think it's really cool how they, transition into whatever's going on, with the first season being the blood, the second season being almost like the transitional period, and then the third season being into the blue suit. The second season was setting up for the variant.
I was not crazy about season 2. Season 2 had a lot of problems. 1 I still think
season
is
2
great.
was slow.
Yeah, I loved 1. I think 3's a little better, but 2 is definitely the weakest of the 3.
I like 2 because of the fighting with the Viltrumites on Thrax, on the planet Thrax. I thought that was sick. I remember yelling at the screen. I was like, bro, Mark, you are the weakest thing on planet Earth. If you do not even know how to freaking throw a punch, he's like, just stop fighting her. She's gonna kill you. And then he's still getting himself like whooped. And he has to let his dad come save him again. I'm like, dude.
I gotta say, it's really hard to root for Mark when he's just a big fucking pussy. Like,
Yeah,
I don't like. I'm all for rooting for Invincible and all that, as long as he actually deserves to get rooted for. Because it does not really seem like he deserves to get rooted for. It seems like the type of guy that you would be like, yeah, no, keep beating him. I don't think he deserves it. Like, if anything,
Yeah.
I'd root for Eve.
No, I just. And then that's also a good talking point. Eve showcased a new thing at the end of episode 8 where she can basically, there was a thing that was locked from her brain, which is like she can repair her body. And so when she shot that energy beam, that was like basically like the access energy from her repairing her body, and she shot it at Conquest. And that was like basically the end of her energy, which is why she was fully repaired. And then she even talked to Mark about it on like when he was on like his hospital bed. She's like, that's like a thing that they locked out of my mind as like a child or whatever, and it only happens and it only works whenever I'm about to die or in a grave situation where I can die. And I think that was cool, but also at the same time I was like, okay, so we just need like another layer of plot armor for this person.
It's extremely cheap. I will say that, because like Rex had plot armor, like Duplicate had plot armor. Immortal is literally plot armor, and now fucking
Immortal is the king of getting beat down, bro. Like, you can't tell me that Immortal has not gotten, like, he's gotten the most losses in the entire, like, it's literally the joke at this point to have him show up just to get beat up.
Yeah, he's literally the punching bag, and he's been around for like 5,000 years or some shit. Like, come on, stop getting your ass
hated
whooped.
of the show. We have the most hated of the show, and we have the most punched up in the show, married, who being Duplicate and the Immortal.
You think
nobody
Kate's the most hated? I think it's Amber.
Amber was hated when she actually was around, and when she is around, but people hate Duplicate. She is like, I swear, like, her importance of this show is just to be like, all right, so this person's gonna cheat, so it has to be Duplicate. Like, there's just zero importance with her character.
She's just the slut, I think. Like,
It feels like a meme.
Yeah, it does feel like a meme. Like, she's basically whoring around with all these guys like Rex and stuff, and now Immortal and stuff. It's like, okay, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, and then with like Rex and stuff, I mean, well, now with Rex being gone and like the funeral service, and then Eve got up there and cried. I was like, didn't he like completely treat you like dirt? I mean, he was still a good guy after the fact, but I was still like, yeah, as somebody, like, when Mark was there, I was like, I would be kind of like, why is she so... I mean, he was still a
like,
comrade.
yeah,
which
like, why is
makes
she
sense.
so upset about her ex, you know? Like, it's kind of
For
weird.
real.
I
And-
was like, yeah, what are you doing?
I didn't like how Robot took the name Rex. But like, it didn't feel like oh, okay, that's really nice. It felt more of like all right, he's dead. I'm Rex now, bro. And then it makes sense when you think about how Invincible got sent into that like weird reality space, and he saw like the future Eve, Robot, and all them, and Robot was called Rex, which means that canonically in the timeline, Rex would have died regardless, and Robot took the name. Which, it still feels weird to me because, I don't know, it like, first of all, he stole Rex's blood to make, like, him a new body.
That is true.
And then he's like, I'm Rudy or whatever, and then he kind of keeps going on, and then he dies, and he goes, yeah, I'm Rex now, and I'm like, dude,
that's a Ray
that
Skywalker
feels
all over again. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was like, that's weird. I was like, I know it's for a good quote unquote reason, but I was like, I still don't really know how I feel about that. I guess I'll see with season 4, but I don't know. I felt like it was kind of iffy, and it didn't sit right with me.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, back on Mark, like, I want to root for him, but as long as he actually is a man of his word and, like, does not pull any punches, because he's been beat up for 3 fucking seasons now. I think it's about time he finally lives up to his name, Invincible, and beats the shit out of people.
No, for real. Like that one alternate reality where he's like, and don't forget, I'm invincible. That was freaking sick. I wish that he was just. Also, we have Omni-Man in the chat. That does not like us talking crap about his son.
Oh, hey Omni-Man, how you doing? How's prison going?
No, he broke out of prison.
Oh, he
He's
did break out of prison. Yeah, I forgot. Honestly, I really love the Omni-Man side story. I love that.
That's why I wanted so much more of it. Or Alan
Yeah,
be like, yeah,
dude.
we're best friends, bro. Also, Alan has kind of like a... So, if y'all know anything about Dragon Ball, the way it works is, as Saiyans, the more damage you take, like near death, the more powerful you get. Alan is basically the same way, with he increases his power the closer to death he gets, which is why that like really old Viltrumite, cannot remember his name, looking like a Dumbledore, pulled the plug because he wanted to see if he could just make him stronger. And now,
are you talking about? Are you talking about the Peter Cullen's character, Optimus Prime or whatever?
Yes.
I remember that.
He pulled the plug, and I was like, oh my god, this guy's a bad guy. But then it was like, no, it's because you're stronger now. And you could see it in the prison scene. Like, he was fighting Viltrumites. And I mean, even with that fact, they kept going, all right, how are we going to execute him? And they kept juicing the guy up. I was like, what are they doing? I was like, these guys are absolute morons. They're juicing this guy up, and then he can easily break out of prison. It doesn't even matter. Also,
Yeah.
I did not like how depressed Omni-Man was that entire time. It wasn't until after he broke out of prison that he was like kind of okay.
Yeah,
He was like the entire time he was like, I deserve this.
Yeah, like they really kind of changed him in season 2, where like he went from being like, oh, I'm right and all that, and like Viltrumites forever, to like, fuck, I really fucked up back there.
Yeah,
Like
I feel like
I got drunk off my ass, and now I said some
the
shit I don't
character
mean.
development's good.
It is good. I will not deny that. It is really good. It's just I wish he wasn't sidelined as much as he was in season 2, and 3 a little bit, but I'd say he had a little more stuff to do in season 3, because the prison breakout and all that. I thought that was a really good episode. So I don't know.
I feel that, honestly. I think that they did good translating between the two, like going between Earth and like Omni-Man and them in prison and stuff. I kind of wish, like I said before, that they would have made it a little bit more apparent what was going on over there. I understand that they're going by the comics, and the comics doesn't really touch on it very much. But I mean, even like a little nudge of what they were doing or whatever, or like, okay, we're gonna do this. Like, there's some parts in like the like a little bit sped up in the comics that they could have probably grabbed and placed in there, and it wouldn't have made anything lore-wise or canonically like wrong. But I mean, it's whatever they want to do. I would have personally added more, because I know that I'm a huge fan of Alan and Omni-Man, so the fact that I didn't get to like kind of see them at the end was kind of disappointing. I thought that maybe the ending scene was gonna be the two of them, like, I don't know, going to Earth or going to Viltrum, like wherever they were gonna go. But I mean, even seeing Conquest still alive, I was just like, bruh, this just makes me upset.
Yeah, I haven't seen or I haven't read any of the Invincible comics, but I don't think Omni-Man is gonna ever show up on Earth ever again after what happened. Or maybe
I don't think he's gonna be able to, with the fact that Cecil has his like, you know, in reanimate Invincibles and stuff, like fighting 5 of his sons, or even how many, I don't think that he would even make it. And of course, nobody else sees him in a good light right now. I mean, the only person
he killed thousands of people, so he's pretty much Loki of the Invincible universe.
The only person that kind of sees him in a good light right now is Mark, but that's because he kind of fought alongside him, and he kind of like, he could see that his father grew a little bit, but he can't really attest to that back on Earth because of how much damage he caused. And Conquest wasn't any better. Conquest pulled a Omni-Man Part 2 and did the exact same thing, that he did with Mark. Like every single person that Mark has gone against, they've grabbed his skull and they've rammed him against multiple people.
Yeah.
I'm like, at some point you just gotta snap out of it and start punching the crap out of him. I'm like, if you've seen that, if I know for a fact that if I wasn't wanting to fight the first time and I had some deja vu flashback like that, heck yeah, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you.
Exactly. So like, I don't know how it goes, but Omni-Man's definitely not making out by the time the show ends. Like, he's 100% dead. But I think, like, the question is he gonna make it back to Earth or something, or is he gonna be the bad guy again? Is he gonna be like, I don't know. But either way, I'm very interested in seeing. Yeah,
it's gonna solely depend on the journey of Alan and Omni, and I think because season 4 is already confirmed to be the Viltrumite War, and I can already tell you that they're all fighting in it, but we don't really know. Obviously, we don't know how everybody gets everywhere, so I'm not gonna say that. But like, I think season 4 will set up, and then Are you okay?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay. I think season 4 is gonna set some stuff up in the first 4 episodes, and I think that they're gonna hit it. Like, if you thought episode 7 and 8 of this season were good, I think that episode 5 through 8 are gonna like kind of hit it out of the park.
Of season
like
4.
I think that I think that they're gonna go crazy. Like the cliffhanger that they might add on the end of episode 8. I don't know what it might be because I mean I don't really know what they would do, but like they have so many routes that they could go because the thing is they're doing so well with adapting the comics that they could really do whatever they want in this part. It really depends on how they want to write it.
Are there multiple renditions of the comics?
There's not multiple renditions, but there's a lot of places where they could be like cliffhanger or cliffhanger here or cliffhanger here. It just depends on what they want to do. If they want to take it slow, they could do a semi-interesting cliffhanger. If they want to take it fast, then they're going to make people go crazy. That's all I can say. If you want to know more about it, guys, like you have to go read the comics. The comics are awesome. They're just as good as the show. I mean, obviously you have to read. So if you don't like reading, then I mean, you probably count yourself out.
The thing is, I want to read them, but I kind of want to leave the surprise for the show itself.
Yeah, and I mean, by all means, that's like still a really good way to go about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I read the comics. Like I don't know the entirety of the comics. Like I've read them, but that was a little bit ago. Like I started watching the show after I'd read the comics. Like I had read the comics a little bit ago. And I mean, I'm pretty sure they're all out. I haven't caught up on anything, but I'm pretty sure all of the Invincible comics are out and done.
I think it is done, and I did hear that Invincible might last 8 seasons in order to fully complete the whole like series.
It's gonna be super interesting. I'm super excited where they cliffhangered, like really leaving it up to everybody else's suspicions on what you're gonna do, like what's gonna happen, like what's gonna happen with the government, what's gonna happen with the Pentagon, what's gonna happen with Invincible. Is Oliver gonna grow up and start like just killing people because his brother wouldn't stand up to the challenge? Is what's gonna happen to the Guardians of the Globe? Like Rex is gone. Okay, how are we filling this spot? Like, there's lots of what ifs that they have not answered or what's, and I'm excited to see how they're gonna answer and fill all those gaps up in season 4.
Yeah. Did they say what happened to Darkwing? Like the second Darkwing?
So Darkwing took one of the Invincibles into the he took them into the Dark Dimension, and we do not know what happened to them. We won't know that for some time.
Shit. Like, you don't think it'll happen in season 4?
No.
Fuck.
No. Low key, I'm not gonna lie. By the time you figure out the answer, it's gonna be a side story. Like, low key, you're gonna be sitting there in your chair and you're gonna be like, where was this, like, last time? And you're gonna, like, it's not gonna, you're gonna be really upset when they finally reveal it.
Damn, okay.
It's a lot of suspense. But, I mean, like, when I got to that point, I was like, oh, yeah. Like that's kind of the level I
Oh
was
yeah.
at. Like I was like, oh my god, that's where like what happened. That's what happened. This well yada yada yada. I was like, oh.
Oh, that
I was
kind
like,
of
all right, next page. But I mean, yeah, no, it's still super interesting. I mean, the entire show, like, I think that the comics do a really good job of weaving the story. They do a really good job of making that into the animation in the series. The quality's great. The voice acting's awesome.
It's really
Everything
good.
that Invincible is doing, they're doing right, and that's something that you don't see a lot of the time nowadays from a lot of different studios. And I think that lots of people need to be taking notes from Invincible
Yeah.
when it comes to any shows. Cough, cough, Disney Plus. Not including Marvel shows. Most of those are pretty good. But I just think that people need to start taking notes because Invincible's doing something right, and it's generating a lot of popularity. It's
agree.
generating a lot of hype. It's
Like-
not even an IP. Like, it's like a lot of the shows that are like doing well are IP things, like popular IPs. Like, you know, a lot of the movies nowadays are a lot of game movies, and that's what's like really in right now because people are trying to get that nostalgia factor. Invincible doesn't even need nostalgia factor. The show is just good.
It's just genuinely a good show, yeah, and that's extremely rare nowadays. Cause like, okay, like I said before, I love Daredevil Born Again, and I'll make my full review about it once the show ends, and I'm still on board with that show. But I gotta say, Invincible, definitely the highlight of the whole year so far. It's really good. I think that this is how shows should be, like especially if you're adapting a show from like a book or a series. Game of Thrones, this is how you do it. Absolutely. Wait till it's done and then make an adaptation of it and pull your weight to it and actually care about the product.
Yep. Even the slow parts, there's a lot of slow parts that you could really feel in season 2. But the thing is, the way that they carried those slow parts still made it feel entertaining to watch. Like, as annoying as it might have been to see Mark and Amber struggle in season 2, like, seeing how much Mark's changed into season 3 made you go, oh yeah, this was worth it. And like seeing the character development through every character, honestly, I feel like every character through season 3 has had some sort of development in how they act, how they interact with other people, and overall just how they carry themselves. I mean, I just think that it's, I mean, Mark's mom, like Debbie, like she, like in season 2, she wouldn't let Oliver move a freaking inch, and Mark she wasn't allowing Mark to do anything half the time or whatever because she was so worried about Omni-Man and the past and stuff. But now she's like, you got to do what you got to do, like take him out, because she, you know, she almost died to Angstrom. Like she's like, I don't care, you can kill the guy.
She
Like,
broke
he
my
needs to
arm.
die.
Fuck him.
Yeah, like she doesn't care. She's like, go for it. And I mean, that's kind of scary from a mother. Like if your mom's telling you to kill the guy, you're like, ooh.
Yeah,
Well, if
pissing
my
off a
mother's
mom
telling
is
me
the
to do it.
worst thing you could do. The absolute worst.
It's the worst thing to do.
Like even Conquest would shit his pants. Like oh god.
Debbie gets superpowers.
Oh god. Imagine that. Holy shit.
With her heels, she thunder chucks a heel straight at Conquest eyeball.
Oh god. She'll just go full fucking like Omni-Man against Conquest. It'd be nuts. By the way, do Battle Beast and Conquest ever fight?
Battle Beast and Conquest? Let me... Actually... No. They do not.
Fuck. Who do you think would win between the two?
Honestly, it depends, because is this like Conquest with his glove, or is this like him without his glove since he just lost his glove or whatever?
Both.
I think that if Conquest had his glove, he'd win. Battle Beast, though, he has so much energy that I think that he would still win.
Maybe. And we'll never know, but I think Battle Beast could take him.
I mean, Battle Beast literally, like, there's that one scene where he literally tore a Viltrumite to shreds. I think that he could. My only problem is with how badly Conquest got beat up by Mark in, like, a couple scenes, and the fact that he was still just, like, stand up, punch him across the world again. Like, I still think that he'd have a lot more strength and endurance to keep up with, Battle Beast.
Yeah,
I
but
think
Battle Beast
would-
constantly said like he wants more and shit like that. So
That's true. He also has like a lust for Viltrumite blood.
maybe.
That's why he like licked his lips after he bit one. That was really weird and unsettling at that.
Yeah, that's weird. Dude's got a king for Viltrumites.
Yep. I mean that's how Alan got him out. He's like, "Is there Viltrumites?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Can I kill them?" He goes, "Yeah, but you can't kill the one that's tied up." And he was like, "Deal." But I mean, yeah, no, like I said, season 3's great. Off to an amazing start. Nearing the halfway point of all of the seasons. I'm excited about it, and I'm ready to see what else they have in store. Animation's only going to get better from here, so. And
Yeah.
the voice acting too, also going to be amazing and incredible.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see who. There's a couple new characters that will be introduced in season 4. Excited to see who they want to voice them with. And obviously you'll see who those are in season 4.
Yeah.
But those voice, I'm gonna be for real. The voice actors that they choose will make or break season 4.
Then
and
they
that's
better put in their A game.
I know, and it's gonna be. I don't think it'll be hard, but I think that if they just like actually take the time to choose their people wisely, that they'll do great. But
Yeah.
that's all I gotta say for season 3. Overall, just I give it like a 9 out of 10. I think maybe the like little bit of there was a little bit at the beginning that might have been like a little bit like not my cup of tea in terms of like the pacing of it, but like overall it was great.
Yeah. It had a hell of an ending. So
Yes.
yeah.
That
So
really made it.
with that, we are officially done. So, I gotta say thank you, D4, for stopping by. I greatly appreciate you being on.
Of course.
Please feel free to come back soon because it was great having you on.
I'm glad to be here. No, definitely. It was a lot of fun. Let me know let me know when season 4 or honestly, I'll be back for the end of the Daredevil review too if you'll have me.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe I could have you as a future co-host. Who knows? Like,
That'd be
I'm
awesome,
definitely
man.
considering it. But yeah, that's all I got. Tomorrow there's gonna be no Golden Pipe Gang episode because I actually have to film in exactly 12 hours. So I gotta get to bed. But thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. I know it's gone on a lot longer than I thought, but we talked about a lot, and I'm very happy with this episode. Thank you, Tasha, D4 as the guest, Jake, Jay Gooden, and Stefan for all stopping by. I appreciate you all, and thank you all for listening. If you want to see more just
no
like this,
problem.
subscribe, hit the like button and all that. We're almost at episode 40. I don't know what we're going to do with episode 40. It was originally going to be Star Wars ranked, but I might have to think of something for that. So it might be Mario Party games ranked. Might be something else. I don't know. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys in the next video. See you guys.
Goodbye everyone.
See you
Have a
later,
great day.
people.